Hey everyone, it's me QP83,
And Barbie 0913.
and we are here with a video we have meant to shoot for a while now.
For a while, yeah.
It just hasn't happened yet, but we are going to do it today.
Okay.
Do you want to start the story and then have me
Oh, sure.
continue?
A friend of mine messaged me that she had a friend that wanted to sell a dollhouse, and he was kind of local in the local area. And I said, oh, that sounds cool. So she gave me his phone number, and we set up a time that we could go meet and see this dollhouse that he put together for his wife. And when we got there, we had found out that his wife had passed away, and he was slowly trying to give things away to others. And we looked at this dollhouse, and it's really a pretty dollhouse, and he did a lot of help building on it for her, so it was really nice. But he had cancer, and then she got sick and didn't let him know that he had.
So sad.
Yeah, it was very sad. So because she was busy taking care of him, and she probably figured, well, don't worry, this will go away, these pains, and it didn't, and it was kind of very sad. But alas, we took the dollhouse with us home, and it's very heavy.
Yes, and hopefully we have a picture because we didn't bring it up to the table.
No, we didn't bring it for the table. So when we got there and we were looking at the dollhouse, he was talking about how his wife collected dolls, and she collected Skipper dolls. And it's like, Skipper dolls?
Ooh.
And I thought, wow, that's really cool, like if you ever find them in your house, and want somebody to look at them, we can look at them and have fun. And in his closet, there were a couple boxes, and he said, you can take them out if you want to look at things. And I was like, wow, it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, not fun for him, but he was still very sad, and that's the way it is, It's sad.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really nice that she was a Skipper collector, and I could say, well, my daughter is a Skipper collector too. And in some of the boxes, there were outfits, and he let us take those home with us.
Yeah.
So it was very nice, and I knew it would be a big surprise for Cupid.
Yes. So what you're gonna see in this video is like a small snapshot
Right.
of the Thurow collection. So this is Nancy's, some of the stuff that Nancy had in her collection. It's not all the stuff because there's a lot, and we will go into that. But after this interaction, I called John just to learn a little bit more about Nancy, because when my mom had talked to him, like he didn't talk much about, like he didn't know much about her collection, like that.
He knew she collected,
side
but
of it.
Right, he didn't know if she went to shows that much or what she was looking for, but these were things she loved. She loved dolls, and she also liked making clothes for them too.
Crafting for her dolls, right?
Yes,
in the
crafting,
dollhouses,
which I'm very bad at. Yeah.
Yeah. So I called John because I wanted to learn a little bit more about Nancy as a person, to start this video off with, just because it's really nice to be able to know a little bit about the person who you're taking care of their collection for. You're the steward of their collection, so it's nice to know a little bit about them. So Nancy grew up in a really big family, and she always loved dolls, but she didn't have any growing up because she was in a large family. But so she picked it up as a hobby. She picked up Barbies and dolls and dollhouses as a hobby as an adult. She loved, according to John, she loved exploring local toy shows. They would go together because he had his sort of thing he'd look for, and she would have her thing. Because he was a train guy, so he did model trains.
I didn't. Oh, that's
They had a whole model train display.
Right. Big giant trains. But he had given them to a friend who had like a basement full of trains.
Yeah. So he would go looking for the train stuff. She'd go looking for the doll stuff.
Gotcha.
She met John back in the 80s, where they were working inventory at Nyhoff & Co. He was like, well, there were literally hundreds of people working that night, and then they met while working inventory at midnight, and then they fell in love, and they got married. Never had any kids. They were their own little unit, it sounds like, from the from what I understood. And a little bit about John is he was a jack of all trades, so he would help her with like the dollhouses and stuff, or like if she needed something to be like made, he would make it for her.
He'd make a tool for it. Yeah.
And
He
you
did
can
say that.
You can see his railroad collection at the museum, the Railroad Museum in Union, because he donated it to them. I imagine you could see it. He did donate it. Hopefully it's on display.
Oh, the one by the window.
Well, he would have recently donated it.
Union. Oh, okay. Oh, in Union.
The Railroad Museum.
Oh, I didn't know they had a place for trains.
Apparently.
Smaller trains.
He donated it. So hopefully it's on display.
Yeah.
Nancy, when I was talking to John, it was like so sweet, and it also broke my heart like 1,000 times. She was super outgoing. People opened up to her, he said, and they connected with her. Like she would just, meet someone and they would connect, and she'd, they would share life stories. She was a really great listener. And John thought she would have made a really great therapist because she was so good at listening to people and letting them share and then just being a supportive person for them. She was also an avid reader, and she supported her friends at the library in Marengo, and she was also in the book club. So we connected there as well because I work in libraries. So she was an avid reader. She liked Agatha Christie novels, like mysteries. And as John said, she was a good person and had a smile that brought people to her. And he mentioned this twice. Twice in the conversation, he repeated that she was a good person, which I thought was, again, super sweet. And also that was one of the things that, like, broke my heart. Because it was, like, that was the imprint that she left. And that's such a great imprint to leave on the world.
Yeah.
So she loved the thrill of collecting. According to John, she sewed outfits for the dolls. She loved miniatures. She would create dioramas, and then John would help with creating whatever she needed. She had an eye for fashion, too. He specifically pointed this out, too. He was like, she had an eye for fashion and would buy, like, smart quality shoes and clothes. So, like, you look nice. So she'd put money into looking smart like that, like dressing snappy.
Cool.
And, like, all in all, from this phone call, I got that they had such, like, a lovely life together. And, like, there's sometimes where, like, two people meet and you're like, yeah, you were definitely destined to be together. And this was that. They were their own little unit, which is why it's so sad that, she passed away. And and he is now the one half of that unit. But
sad.
All in all, it seems like Nancy was just a really nice person.
Yeah.
And a pleasant person, a good energy to have, around.
She would have been a fun person to go with to a doll show.
Yes, I agree. And who knows, we might have walked right past her at a Chicago Toy Show.
We could have.
That's what I'm thinking, honestly. Because we probably crossed paths at one point. But yeah, what I got away from it is she was just, it sounds like she was a really nice soul. And people that were, lucky enough to meet her and be around her were lucky. Because she just seems like a really nice person. And she has an amazing collection of Skipper stuff. Oh my goodness. Like, literally amazing.
Yeah.
In a way that I have never tried to get my collection done because I've always been like, nah, it's okay. But she's amazing.
She had a knack for putting everything down, knowing where everything was.
Seriously. So that's the brief history of Nancy and John.
Right, and you're very happy to be a steward.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Collection.
So this isn't like a bragging video. None of our videos are bragging videos. This is definitely a video to show you what was in her collection to kind of like spotlight it. And, show you how impressive it was and, just to bring it, just to show you guys.
It also makes you think about what do you want done with your doll someday if you're sick. If things are really, really bad, I mean, do you have somebody that's just going to come and say, all right, well, I'm in charge of the dolls, and I'll make sure they go to good homes or something. Yeah. So it's kind of a spooky feeling. But.
It is. But if you are given that honor of being that steward, I mean, it is an honor, right? Because they're trusting you with something that was their passion.
Right. And like I've given you ideas of what I want done, and this is what, if I'm not here, this is what you do. You and your brother go through things if there's anything you guys want, and then you go and pass it down to the rest of them, and then sell them off because you don't have to have it. Somebody else might want the dolls.
It's something to think about.
Yeah.
So I think what we'll do now is I'm going to show you some stuff that was in Nancy's collection.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuff that I haven't brought out because it's kind of hard to show on the camera. But I will talk about it and try to take some pictures and maybe make a part 2 to this video to really spotlight that stuff specifically.
And then I might have some things on my channel too.
Yeah. So once Piper's done drinking her milk.
Were you thirsty? Careful. You have to hold it under your lip.
You're going to see her
right
spill it all over me.
She does.
So Nancy's collection was a curious collection because she collected Skippers she has vintage Skipper outfits, like so many vintage Skipper outfits. That is what I might put into a different video. And she'd collect meticulously, like collect them, like find the shoes and all the accessories and like all the pieces. And some had like 2 of the same top or whatever because one was in less good shape than the other one. So she had vintage Skipper outfits. She also had 60s, 70s, 80s Skipper outfits, like stuff on card from the 90s, like literally it was a whole generation of Skipper, a lot of clothing,
right?
Not a lot of dolls. There was like a handful of dolls, but she mostly had clothing. So that's what you're going to see in this video. Now that we finished our milk. This is in no particular order or anything. She had like outfits on card like this. So this is from my era, right? The 90s, the teen time fashions. And they're like, I love these outfits. I don't have them. And what I particularly really enjoy are the pictures on the back. So I do actually keep these. This is one of the few things that I just keep the cardboards for. Because you can see all the prototype dolls and their cute hairstyles.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see what outfits you're missing. So we have those. We also got this one, which is this high school fun fashions, which are also super cute. Again, another one I don't have. Piper, I'm not ready for that one yet. So there's that one. And then we have this one Piper is showing, which is also a super cute fashion from the Teen Time Fashions.
And what has she learned? She needs more bodies to put into these clothes.
I do. I need more bodies because I don't have that many that I can switch around. But a bunch of cute fashions. I'd like to find the jigsaw puzzle dress top, whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's an odd one.
That's kind of cool. But she also had things like this, which is a different head mold. This would have been like before the 90s Barbie, so maybe like the mid 80s. So this is a romantic wedding fashion. So she's a bridesmaid in Barbie and Ken's fantasy wedding. As you can see there.
That one's cute, yeah.
But is it actually a cute fashion? Ugly Skipper, cute fashion.
Yeah, she's not fond of that one.
I am not fond of that one. Okay. She doesn't have a ton of Skipper paper products or things outside of outfits, but she had some paper dolls, which are always fun. The Design of Fashion paper doll kit is super cute. I've never actually seen this one. So this one has, you pick a pattern, you trace it, and then you color it so that everything is unique to whatever you want. And you can create the entire wardrobe. So she cut out the Skipper, or someone did, and it has colored pencils, and then here it has the little outfits that you can trace. So or copy, yeah. So and there's even the tracing paper in here. So that's kind of fun. It's one of those things. Why doesn't Mattel just recreate the old school, like, paper dolls?
Because they're too busy firing people. Seriously.
But like even the Barbie conventions, like give someone like an old school like reproduction paper doll. That would be a cool gift. So that one was neat. And then the Skipper paper doll, I might have talked about on the channel. She's like a pose and play Skipper.
She's so cute.
She is super cute. And none of these are cut. So it has the outfits here. None of them are cut. And, well, my mom brought like, and was like, oh, this is, you have no idea what this woman had. She brought these out first.
We didn't have room in the car. We had to make a second trip.
But she brought these because she knew that I would like them, and she was correct in that assumption. Because it's Growing Up Skipper fashions on card, which I'm going to be taking them off the card to put on Growing Up Skippers once the prices go back down again. But so this is a fashion for Growing Up Skipper. It has a fashion that fits Skipper when she's young and then when she's more mature. And on the back here, you see there's one of 6 fashions that they made for this line.
Not many at all.
No. And so I have this one, this Growing Up Skipper.
Okay.
And then this is a Get Up and Go fashion. And I don't have a lot of the Get Up and Go fashions. Mm-hmm. So this is a super cute one. It's kind of like a colonial sort of vibe, right? Oh, no, it's not the colonial one. There is a colonial one. This one it's just kind of cute. Maybe it's like, I don't know, is it like a going to church vibe or like a country date at the fair?
I think going to the fair, going on a picnic.
Going on a picnic. But it's super cute. And again, I don't have it. A lacy charmer and party timer.
Yeah.
That's what the thing said. And then there was this Get Up and Go fashion, beachy bits for sunny fun.
Which is cute.
So, we have that. Which is another cute one. Does this go Malibu Barbie? Or Malibu Skipper?
Possibility.
What year did they make these? See, I still have to research. But I don't know what year they made these particular fashions, because I wouldn't know if it was a Get Up and Go fashion.
I think it was when you had the 2 different Skippers.
So this next Get Up and Go, this tagline is such a tongue twister. Red set for when it's wet. Say that 10 times fast. Red set for when it's wet. Like, it's just a lot of, I don't even know. But this is super cute. Can you say it? Red set for when it's wet.
Red set for when it's wet. Red set for when it's red.
It's a tongue twister. You look so sad. So I like this one a lot too because I love the rain jacket. Mm-hmm. And it also has the cute accessories. And these accessories are what make me think that it's like older than like Pose and Play or whatever. I know it probably isn't, so. But these accessories are the ones that make me think, well, maybe. But I love this one. It's super cute. And then this is the
Independence
Bicentennial Fashions Patriotic and Pretty.
Which is the strangest dress I've ever seen. It's just so strange.
It has like, the army men on her dress. She has the little patriotic flag there. It is, it's almost like she's going to some like...
Yeah.
Not Renaissance fair, but like a Civil War fair. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah, it does. Well, except she probably wouldn't have red on it.
A colonial fair?
Yeah. Come in, I'll show you how I can make milk from the cow.
Something. I mean, it's super cute, and I can't wait to put a Skipper in it once I figure out what decade of Skipper these are supposed to be.
Well, especially with the top. If the top goes on it, then it'll look different because it's a corset.
Yeah.
It'll look cuter.
No, I think it'll look cute on her.
Yeah.
It's just like, what?
Which one should you pick?
What was going on here? So these are actually very exciting finds. So I'm like so curious where Nancy found these, honestly. And then, like I said, Nancy's collection was pretty diverse in a sense where, like, there was also stuff that was just out of the blue, and I'm, like, curious as to why it was there. So this is a Barbie outfit. She was into fashion, so I get it, but there wasn't a ton of Barbie stuff. So there was this one.
There was very few Barbie.
She also had, like, a few dolls, and one of them was this Francie.
Reproduction ones, like also she had a Midge, a Barbie one, just a few things that you can kind of pinpoint when they came out and think, oh, okay, I see this, and then the clothing that goes with it, which was also reproduction.
Which I wonder if she bought different dolls so if she was sewing, she could get the measurements of the doll for an outfit.
Maybe she could have.
Francie would have a different body than Barbie.
And then I always thought, well, was there another Mattel store that we didn't know about that she was going
Maybe.
back and forth and using.
Yeah. So, I'm going to take Francie out, and I know my mom said people didn't like this one, but she's
It's
fine.
something with the hands, I think.
Oh, the hands don't matter. They do look very small.
She had a lot of Stacy's.
She did have a lot of Stacy's, I forgot.
This is my first real new Skipper that is, at least she's not totally, I don't know.
No, she was like one of the first releases of like the most recent
Where
release.
she actually has
She has
roots.
good
Yeah,
vinyl.
yeah,
things.
very good. So things like that, and like the group ones with Skipper in there. She had those too. And then she had Skipper. She had, whoops, you okay? She had the early dolls of Skipper, and Tootie and Todd's, and so those came home with me.
So what I didn't take out, and I will probably just do in its own separate video, or a couple of videos, honestly, is that, as I said, Nancy was into fashions, and that was the vast majority of her doll collection was fashions. She literally went and found, like, almost all the early vintage fashions, down to, like, getting the shoes and the accessories. So my mom came home with a box that was literally, like, so many Skipper fashions, I don't even know. Like, I am very bad at collecting fashions because I don't want to spend a ton of money on an outfit. So what I have is what it was gifted to me or what I've just randomly found. And generally we see the same outfits, but this was like outfits that I'd never seen before or were too expensive for me to even consider buying. What? Here. So I have a bunch of Skippers, and I'll take some pictures and put them in the video, wearing some super cool fashions. A lot of the mod fashions were in there, which I like, with the funky colors and the cool fabrics.
You can tell what kind of era she liked and when she was collecting, because it seems like she stopped collecting, then she started collecting, and then she stopped again and started doing more crafting. And this is one of my favorite faces on this Barbie, so I thought this was really cute. And I'll take care of them. And she also had things like Midge and Barbie and Alan, and in the reproduction mode, which made me kind of wonder if she was near a Mattel store, because I would have grabbed those in an instant. And it's just somebody that you kind of look at how they collected and what they did with their collections, how they took care of them, and you think, wow, we could be friends. I could have met you and become a friend of yours, and you mine. And it's kind of nice. We need more Barbie clubs, and we need more get-togethers for things.
Agreed.
So that we kind of know each other. Because there's a few people that we see all the time at shows, and it's really nice that way, because you go there and you go, oh, they're here. And it's fun. And when we first started going to shows, the people that sold weren't always as very, very nice to people. They kind of wanted you out of their space. They didn't want children around. They didn't want strollers around. But now I think they've kind of seen we brought a crazy couple of kids, and don't say anything about it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, that's how the shows are going to survive, right? You need to introduce a new generation to it. So.
You need a new generation, yeah.
But yes, I think Nancy's collection is just... that's why I like being a steward of people's collections, because it's such a part of them, and it's curious what decisions they made and what they chose to be, in the forefront of their collecting. Well, thank you, Piper. And I think it also is just a really good reminder to know what you want to do with your dolls when you can no longer, have them around.
I mean, when you hit a certain age, then you start thinking about lots of things.
Right.
So it is something that you have to have in the back of your mind.
And regardless of how old you are, you should always have a plan, because you never know. Life is weird. And it's, if you're chosen to get someone's collection, they were passionate about it in life, and if you are chosen to take it in their passing, after their passing, it just means that they trusted you to give it as much respect as they did, and that is a great thing, I think. Hi. If If you can't tell, she's trying to like wink at us. Piper is the doll lover of the two children.
Yes.
And will most likely be the one who gets mine. Because she likes them more. Lena might be the one that's like, how much can I get for this? So yeah, we'll end it there, and then you'll see some of this stuff in other videos, I'm sure, just little drips and drops of it. You'll see some of the Skipper clothing, the Skipper outfits up close and personal, and I'm sure my mom found some stuff that she's going to show you on her channel as well.